1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Welcome back to the TMCJ podcast. We are on episode 58, and we have an interesting one where we normally during topics have a couple different things from each of us where we can we might not get to all of them, but we'll talk about them a little bit and then kind of move on. This week, we only have one topic because everything Blue tried to look up as, like, what's happening in the world was just cursed. So,
yeah, Twitter failed me today. It was either not interesting enough or a bit too spicy.
Yeah, just a tad. And looking at current events, there was something going on that I was like, oh, this might be something interesting. Probably not going to be something we want to talk about on the podcast.
So we've done a lot of talking, don't worry, off podcast.
We did a lot of talking off camera. And then segment 2, we didn't do movie night, but Blue and Alicia went to see a movie which he has assured me will take up a good chunk of the segment.
Oh, yes.
And then segment 3, we're back to a quiz segment. It's been a while, but it's finally time.
I just thought of a small topic.
Oh,
it's a very small one.
Good. Well, then,
but I think you'll like it.
Okay. Do you
that chair.
Oh, is it? Should
we can talk about that chair. Yeah, I know how much you love talking about that chair of yours.
Oh my god. You know what? Let's lead off with that because it's going to show up in the quiz segment. So I've maintained a long trend of having never bought a desk chair. Never. I've never once bought a chair for my desk. Like when I was a little kid, I had this old shitty desk chair that it was a hand-me-down, and I sat in that. It was made of wood, and it had like this really creaky leather back.
Yep.
Then
back in my day, we didn't have those rotating ones.
Then when I went to college, it was either the college-provided desk chairs, or I would have a riveting topics, by the way, from the TMCJ podcast. Let's talk about my chair history. Then I used a recliner for a while that I just got secondhand instead of an actual desk chair. That was great for my back, I'm sure.
I remember in DT. Wait, do you have DT over there?
What is DT?
I just don't know if it's design and technology.
By different names, but yeah, we just call it shop.
So I think the first time I actually got to sit in a desk chair, a proper desk chair with wheels, I was in it was stupid year 8 or something. Genuinely.
Oh,
and I was sat there doing a CAD project. What?
Okay, yeah, no, I'm thinking of something different. We call that we had that when I was in school, but they called it Comp Lab or something like that.
Right.
And
so DT included cookery, electronics, and woodworking.
Oh, okay. So maybe it is. So those were all kind of separate. So the cookery stuff, that was food and nutrition, which I took that class as an elective my senior year in college because I had a free period, and I took it at the end of the day, so I'd be going to track practice with a calzone that I had just made or something like that.
I mean, that is awesome, but I feel like that's also going to give you fucking cramps.
Dude, it was hilarious. We're going to a track meet, and I'm on the bus unwrapping a calzone, and somebody is like, where the fuck did you get a calzone? I'm like, I just made this 20 minutes ago.
It's you're halfway around the track, someone's watching you running. He's like, what? What's he pulled out of his pocket?
It's a calzone!
He's moving faster! He's farting himself along the track.
To be fair, that is something that I never understood. I actually get more energetic after I've just eaten, not more lethargic.
Oh, so, no, I definitely get more tired.
Dude, I used to do cross-country practice runs where we'd run 10 miles or something like that, and we would pass an apple orchard, and I'd just snag a couple apples off the trees as we're going by, and I would just be eating them while I was running.
Well, okay, if you give it half an hour or an hour, that's when I suddenly get very energetic after eating because the stuff's broken down, it's giving me the proper energy.
Yeah. But
no, immediately while I'm eating it, for a start, I couldn't run while I was eating because I'd probably forget to chew and just fucking choke.
Yeah, there's that element to it.
I've also got a very small lung capacity, so doing that extra bit of exercise at the same time.
No, but yeah, good. I'd totally eat. Yeah, I'd eat a calzone on the way to a fucking track meet, and then I ran 200 meter after that.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, this is not the topic, but this was just a fun...
But, yeah. He's got a fancy new chair. It looks very nice.
Yes.
You'll see it in segment 3 if you're watching the YouTube video.
So,
And,
long
I'm
story
jealous.
short, my most recent desk chair, the armrest snapped off of it while I was, like, trying to sit up out of it. Like, because I normally, like, push down on the armrest to kind of, like, either get in, like, to adjust or to get out of the chair or whatever. And I did that, armrest snapped off. And so for the first time, I bought a chair, and it is this big, plush, like, red, cushy thing, and I love it.
Like what I imagine a doctor's or a dentist's chair to look like. Not a doctor's, actually, more like a dentist's.
Yeah, somebody in like an opulent office. Now I need that opulent office.
So, now that we've warmed you up to what we're about to talk about...
Which has nothing to do with this subject. It's something we started talking about yesterday, and we realized, oh, this would actually be something good for the podcast. So I was watching a, I don't know how I ended up here. The YouTube channel Jubilee. You know them, right?
You keep saying this, and I keep saying I know... I've heard of it, I just can't picture what it looks like. I'm actually going to look it up right now.
It's a channel that does a lot of cringe, basically.
Oh god, that's probably why I don't watch it anymore.
I've never watched them. I've watched people reacting to them. Basically, what they do, and
God.
to be fair, they do some things that are worthwhile. Like,
Okay, no, I'm gonna confirm I've not seen this before, and the very first thing that came up looks so cringe that I would not click on this video if it came up.
they are very, very cringe and very, very hard to watch.
It looks very much like BuzzFeed.
And I'll admit that I didn't actually watch this video. I watched somebody reacting to this video.
Fair enough. Who was reacting? Out of curiosity.
God, I don't know anymore. I was on like one of those YouTube rabbit holes, just going down different videos. It was somebody I hadn't watched before.
Because I watch a lot of people react. Like, Asmongold reacting, I watch a lot of.
Yeah.
But that's mostly games.
But I feel like that's the best way to watch cringe, is through somebody else. Like, they're like a filter. Like, they take the blunt of the cringe, and then you only get it secondhand.
I actually, I was watching Asmon the other day, and this is a video I've actually seen previously, but I watched it again because it was so funny. He was watching this guy, God, I can't remember his name. Really hot looking guy, okay?
Yeah.
That's beside the point, but I'm just saying. And he was talking, he does, like, he breaks down tropes in games and things like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm going to be talking about this new mobile MMO game called Tinder. And he converts everything from, like, your everyday understanding of it into video game terms. So he's like, you know, when you're partying up in this game, it can be quite difficult to initially find some team members. There's a lot of judging, especially on depending on what class you picked. Your class, you don't actually get to pick it. In fact, two far older people get to pick it for you about 20 years before you start playing.
Oh my
it's a
God.
very funny video.
I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah, and he goes out and he's like, okay, I've gone out into the field. I'm going to meet up with a party member. We're going to do some quests together. It'll be great. And he turns up. He's like, oh, hang on. Wait, no. That's not the same as their profile image.
Oh, God.
It's a very, very funny video.
That last bit reminded me of a... So there's... Do you know the animated show, the Boondocks?
No.
Oh, it's really good.
Josh Strife-Hayes is the one that does it. Sorry, go on.
That's fine. So there's an episode where, like, basically it's these two, like, black preteens that are living with their grandfather, and it's just their exploits, basically. And their grandfather is fucking hilarious too. Like, the guy who voices him clearly has a lot of fun doing the character. But there's this episode where the grandfather is doing online dating for the first time. And he's going through all the traps of, like, oh, this person looks nothing like their profile picture.
Yeah,
and
fishing, literal traps.
And so there's an episode with, like, so, you know, very beautiful woman, and then she shows up at the house. She's this, you know, old lady with, like, no hair and whatnot. And he eventually like gets aggravated and kind of like lets her have it for like, you know, not looking like her profile picture, and she's like, why can't you just love me for who I am on the inside? And he's like, but you're a liar on the inside. And I thought that was just such a good comeback.
I mean, yeah. I'm just going to put the link here because I want you to watch it afterwards, but yeah.
Okay. We still haven't gotten to the topic, by the way.
Yes, sorry, go.
No, it's fine. It's fine, because this is our only topipic, so we can just kind of take it easy and have fun with this segment.
It's kind of like, it's a bit daunting almost, because it's quite a serious, well, it's not a serious topic, but...
It's serious-ish. I think the discussion that we wanted to have around it is a bit serious.
But at face value, not very serious.
Yeah, so what the video was they had 5 women come in, right? And those 5 women, they had them all in a room collectively order themselves in terms of how attractive they think they are to men, right? And they went, there weren't any like weird things here like, oh, secretly this one's a lesbian, so she put herself as 0 or something like that. I don't know. But they ordered themselves, and to describe them, like, they put themselves in, when I saw the first order, the one the women put themselves in, I was like, really? Like, it was, like, just my reaction as a guy was, I would not have done that. Like, that is so different from what I would, like, have expected. And then they, and I sent you the screenshots yesterday, Blue, right? I think?
Yes.
And then they had the women, like, put on, like, sound blockers, right? And then they had 5 men come in and discuss, and then they had the men order them in terms of how attractive they collectively all thought they were. And it was just a night and day difference. Like, I think I disagreed with one of the men's choices, but again, it was like a collective thing, so there's you know, elements of taste there.
Yeah.
But long story short, the girl who the girls put in first place, she ended up in 3rd place. The girl that the girls put in 2nd place ended up in 5th place. The girl that the girls put in 5th place ended up in 1st place. 4th place ended up in 2nd place. The only one that was even remotely close was, and this is one I disagreed with, I thought she deserved to be in 3rd place, but the men put her in 4th, the girls put her in 3rd. But
so with this, we're not going to talk about what the girls actually look like, because that's not important.
It's immaterial to the actual conversation we wanted to have.
Yeah. So I think a lot of the reason why the girls placed themselves the way they did was a kind of a political stance, and not in the politics in the kind of, you know, left wing, right wing, but political correctness or social correctness.
They were trying to be
where
polite.
they were going. Yes. Or, like, and also if you're rating yourself in a group of other people, it does largely come down to your own, what you think of yourself.
And this,
which is completely different to how you actually look.
This comes down to one of the biggest flaws with this YouTube channel in particular. Like, one of the reasons that I think a lot of their videos end up being cringe. It's just like, at least for me, it's such poor methodology. You're right. Everything that you're saying there, they're social experiments designed by somebody who has never done an ounce of scientific work in their entire life.
Well, they don't need to, because it's not a science experiment. It's a
clicks. They want the views.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. You can see. Imagine if they put the person. I'm trying to word this in a way that isn't, you know. Imagine if they put the one with bigger bones at the bottom.
Yeah.
I don't think they were going to do that at any point. Imagine if they put the person with differing ethnicity, and I know the one who did. Well, there was one who was differing ethnicity.
All of them were
was
different
put at the bottom.
ethnicities.
Were they?
Yeah.
I thought 3 of them were the same.
No, there was a white chick, there was a Hispanic chick, there was an Asian chick, there was a black chick, and I think there may have been 2 white chicks, but
okay.
maybe...
I thought the Hispanic was possibly...
No. She was definitely Hispanic. If I had to take a guess, I think she was probably I think she was probably Puerto Rican, but that's my guess.
My point is, they did do it based off of physical attributes, but not the same physical attributes that the men were looking at.
Yeah, and this is getting us around to the point that I was actually wanting to talk about this, is that I think that in general, like if you're talking about like without getting into the weeds of like, in terms of heterosexual men and women, or even bisexual men and women to an extent, I don't think men in general understand what women find attractive, and I don't think women in general understand what men find attractive. Like, or if they do, they make assumptions that in the real world don't play out. Like, you see this all the time with guys. Like, they'll go to the gym, they're like pumping up weights and stuff like that, and you see this meme all the time where it's like, some guy, he goes to the gym and he's walking down the street and he's in his mind, he's thinking, oh, the girls are going to love me. And then what happens in reality, a bunch of guys come up and like, oh man, how much do you bench? Like, oh, that's because he's doing what men find attractive, because men find in general the visual element is a strong element of attraction. But it's less so for women. To an extent, but again, I'm talking in generalities.
Yeah, we're talking about the wide range of people. We're not talking about any specifics.
Yeah, I'm talking about on average, and I'm talking about in general, this is a priority for men, this is a priority for women.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. Like, when you first meet someone anyway, before you even talk to them, the first impression is always going to be looks.
Yeah.
And, like, you can't get around that.
But
granted, the moment someone starts talking to you, that's when the scales can tip.
I just thought of like, you walk up and a guy and girl, girl looks attractive, guy's in a nice cut suit, he looks attractive, he opens his mouth and he sounds like I don't know, Donald
Kermit
Duck.
the Frog.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, just some other ridiculous.
To be fair, here. I think that would either make him a very angry person if he didn't accept that, or a very fucking funny person if he did. And if he was the funny person, I think that would be quite attractive, to be honest.
Well, that's the other thing is... Well, okay. Let's circle that around.
Kaiser, will you marry
me? Hey, I'm wearing a green suit, didn't you notice? Fucking Kermit the Frog. I've completely lost my point now. He's just fucking thinking of Kermit the Frog.
But with Arnold Schwarzenegger's body.
Kermit the... Oh my god.
Get to the chopper.
Hey, I'll be back.
You made him Canadian as well. I'll be back, eh?
Oh my god. I'm so sorry. There was... we said that was a serious topic here, but...
They're used to it by now. They're fucking 58 episodes in, they know how stupid we can be.
And for new viewers, welcome to the show.
Anyway, yes.
But no, I think there's an element of that, though, because... But even when I was describing, attractive man versus attractive woman, I think a lot of what women find attractive is some of the... Even if you're talking about looks right off the bat. I think... God, how to say... fuck it, I'm not going to be politically correct. I think men are looking at, the body type. And everyone has their own preference, but they're looking at the body type. And with women, it's less so... it's less so the body type and more is he cleaned up? Does he look disheveled? Does he look tired? Does he look...
I'd say that's the same thing, though. Really,
it is.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, and again, this is me as a man trying to figure out what women are attracted to. So I'm probably wrong, but that's my point. Is I'm probably wrong.
That's the thing. This whole experiment is completely pointless, and it's because if two people, it doesn't matter if they are fucking Johnny Bravo or some little wimpy kid, they're always going to have different opinions.
Yes.
Always.
And that's why I'm speaking in broad generalities and averages, because everyone is going to have their own... I said, I disagreed. I think that the, the black chick that got put in fourth, I think she should have been in third place. I thought she was really hot. But the men that
really hot third place.
well, okay, but the thing is, I thought the other two chicks were hotter.
Yeah.
Like the top three that got chosen, like the Asian chick, the Hispanic chick, and the black chick. Like I thought all three of them were like neck and neck for being wicked hot. I thought that the fucking wife chick with the 1980s like denim jacket.
Yeah.
Like no, she was in last place. She should not have been anywhere near first place.
we see like just the two of us. I've said this to you already plenty of times, but for the sake of the podcast, me and you see women completely differently. Like what Kaiser was putting in last place, I was putting in first place. What I was putting in first place, Kaiser was putting in last place.
But I mean, that's probably what. So no, finish your point. Sorry.
And yeah, this should have been what we're saying right now. I don't know what was the end of the experiment, but this is what should have been the conclusion: is that despite all the fact that the men came to a consensus, all of them had different opinions, and that's what came together into that average.
Yeah, and this is, well, I mean, I was gonna make just a general comment there. I think that's one of the fun things with the podcast is not just with women, but we have very different opinions on everything.
Yeah, and that's what I think makes this podcast as good as it is, because we're not agreeing on everything. I mean, to be fair, okay, I think we agree on more things during the podcast than we do off of the podcast, because a lot of things we don't agree on are a lot more spicy.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it's easier to agree on things that are less extreme.
Right, because if something is extreme enough to have somebody have an emotional reaction to it, in general, you're going to have a fairly set opinion.
Yeah.
At least,
like, it's always good to do good things, and everyone knows what a good thing is.
Yeah. That's the old meme of just like, I'm against bad things, and I'm for good things.
If you want to... I feel like this is necessary now, almost. If we want to talk about that other subject that we were discussing, maybe having... talk about, I'm happy to do it.
Okay.
Because I think we've spoken our minds, particularly in this episode so far, on how we try and be as fair as possible. We're just giving our opinions. So I think.
Okay. So understand. What we were talking about off podcast, the spicy thing we didn't think we should talk about on podcast. Texas recently is trying to put through a law to ban abortion past the 6-week marker. And
that's 6 weeks before the...
6 weeks into the pregnancy.
6 weeks into the pregnancy, yeah, okay. I was just checking because I was like, 6 weeks before the end, that's pretty fucking...
Well, the thing is, it was being allowed much, much, much later than that, which is what I had a problem with. But and it got taken to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, yeah, we're fine with it. It's like, A, it's Texas's right to do it because it's their state, and B... it's still allowed, it's just you have to make the decision early enough.
Yeah.
And I personally think... I don't know. I have a complex opinion on this. I think that abortion is a bad thing, but it's a necessary evil. It's something that should be legal, but there should be constraints on it. The old adage back in the 90s was safe, legal, and rare. In the U.S. So it was like, it shouldn't be done in lieu of contraception. Like, there's condoms out there. Come on, use them. It's all like, there's like 1.5 million forms of birth control, and it's fairly cheap. In some cases, it's free. So just like, be an adult. And then even in the places where it was heavily restricted, it was a lot more lenient when it came to extreme cases. That being in the cases of assault or in the case of like incest. And I thought that was a good way to do it, but it's increasingly started to happen in the U.S. where it's being used in lieu of contraceptives. Like, oh, fuck it. It's, I'm just going to, whoopsie, I got pregnant again. Time to go out and do it. And I think it's unhealthy because you can cause some serious damage doing that. Like,
well, to the lady.
Yeah. Like, medically speaking, it can cause some pretty significant health problems.
Yeah, so just to kind of sum up also, Kaiser is not against people sleeping together for enjoyment.
Yeah, but just
It's just take responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. Be an adult.
Yeah. So I have a fairly similar view to Kaiser, but I am more lenient where it comes to abortions, I guess.
Yeah.
So
we already said it. You don't need to censor yourself.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to. I'm thinking in my head how I'm going to phrase the next sentence.
Oh, okay.
So we discussed before, not on the podcast, but if a woman has been impregnated against her will,
yeah.
God, we're just never ever getting monetized or ads. Just throwing that out there now.
We're doing it for fun anyway.
I think they I personally believe that they have the right to, scrub that from their that's the wrong way of saying it.
No, I agree with you there, and all of these arguments are fairly reasonable, right?
Yeah.
But my question, when it always comes down to this, when these debates happen, is like, okay, you've got 6 weeks to make that decision.
Yeah. And no, to be fair though, for me, I think it would be quite easy, but I can very easily imagine someone, because the sanctity of life is a pretty big fucking responsibility. I can imagine a decision like that taking 6 weeks, and I can imagine even walking into the place being like,
yeah,
am I doing something wrong? Am I going to I don't want to bring religion too heavily into it, but is this gonna send me to hell?
There is that, but even without it, I mean, if you've ever spoken to women who are or have been pregnant, it's an experience that I don't think any man can fully ever understand. Carrying a life inside you,
yep.
So it is a difficult decision, and it always should be. My worry is that it's becoming increasingly encouraged.
Right.
And I don't think it should be shamed. I don't think it should be encouraged. I think it should, just like everything else like this, it's up to that person, right?
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of extreme opinions on this where some people it's the extreme voices that you always hear.
Yeah.
There's the people that say if you abort a fetus, which, I mean, I consider that not a child yet, but each their own. If you abort a fetus, you are killing a child, and that makes you a murderer and a terrible person. On the other hand, you have people who are like, before it comes out of into the world, as it were, it's not a real child, so do with it as you wish. And I think both of those views are a bit too strong. I don't agree either with them.
I do have two controversial views on this, and I'm not really ashamed of either of them. I think that they're perfectly justified. Knowing what I know about biology, I think that any time it's aborted after the third trimester, you're killing a child. Period.
Okay.
Because at that point, it's started to be conscious. It's close to being. They can be born a couple months early and still be viable. So at that point, there might be reasons to do it, but they should never be taken lightly because you are ending a human life.
Oh no. Yeah, I think no matter what opinion you're taking, I think it's obviously a big decision that has to be given due thought and process.
Which is why I don't like the whole this was the argument I heard thrown around a lot when I was in college. It's it's just a bundle of cells. I'm like, yes, by that same logic, so I can abort a living human. I'm a bundle of cells. There's this is where you get into the philosophical nuance of it, but and the other slightly controversial opinion that I think I have is that I don't think it's just the woman's choice, especially if you're in a marriage, if you're in a lasting relationship with somebody. No, it is not just that person's choice. That there are two people involved in that relationship. If it's something a little bit more casual than that, if it's something that happened, just either as one night stand or if it happened in like a relationship that hasn't been going that long, yes, I agree, woman's choice. But the problem I have with all of these controversial topics is people try to boil them down to universalities, and they can't be handled that way. These are complex and deeply important philosophical topics, and they cannot be boiled down to just a black and white answer. You never can do that.
And again, I've got, in my opinion, the concept you brought up just now of it's the man and the woman's choice, I agree, but I also don't agree. So
Nice.
If a woman really, really does not want a child, then at the end of the day, I do kind of think that, because I mean, she if she consented it to it at one point, it's kind of difficult to then say when they actually have a potential child on the way. And again, it's a fucking terrifying thing, having and a wonderful thing at the same time, giving birth to a child. In the perfect world, yes, I think that the husband and, well, not the husband, the man and the wife should come to a consensus. I know, just let me...
Yeah, no. I'm just playing with a chain, sorry.
Oh, okay, sorry, I thought you were...
No, I'm not waving you down, I'm playing with something.
I do think that the man and wife... Fuck, I can't say it and not be married. Well, because they're not necessarily married.
Yeah.
The man and woman should come to a consensus, and I think that is the only proper way to start a family, is... Because you don't want to start a family when the first decision you ever make together is different, but I don't know. I do kind of think the woman has that last vote.
This is why, yeah, I definitely... No. I should clarify that. I do think that her voice should have a lot more weight in that discussion, but in a long-term relationship like that, be it a marriage or be it just like people who are planning on spending their lives together or starting a family, I think both parties should have a voice. Now, I agree that I think the woman has a stronger voice because she's the one that's going to have to carry it to term. But do you see, like, just in how you tried to, like, articulate that point, that is why you can't boil these kinds of topics down to black and white. They have to be, like, something that in each situation...
Everything is situational, yes. Because
exactly.
It's very, very... It's quite possibly the most significant time of a person's life.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at what people... Like, how people judge success, like, having kids and having a family is still what most people... when asked, would define as success. Like actually starting a family, having kids, and all that sort of stuff. Most people. It's not for everyone, but most people are still like in that. And most, keep in mind, can be 51%. It can be 60%. It can be 70%. I can't remember what the exact number is, but I do remember that it like reading that the majority of people, that's how they define success in their lives. Anyway, like, and again, going back to that point I just made, nothing we're saying should be taken as, like, doctrine. I'm not saying this is how you need to live your life. I'm not saying this is how, like, the world should live their lives. For that exact same reason. These are tense, complicated issues. What I take offense at is when people try to boil those issues down to, this is how everyone should... Yeah. It's just that they're like, hey, it's fine. There's no big deal. Why are they making such a big deal about this? In one direction, or in the other direction, it's like, this is the be-all and end-all. We have to solve this now. This is the most critical thing in the universe. No. Just treat it like things like this should be treated like serious matters, because they are. Period.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to smell so much. Now I'm just thinking of the baby check and Amnesia.
There we go. There's the lighthearted from the beginning of this segment.
Yeah. Right, anyway, talking of lighthearted, the next segment is going to be a lot more lighthearted, I guarantee.
God, that segment was a bait and switch. We started off goofing around and then ended up talking about that.
I think we started off with very light subject, then we got to a slightly more significant, and then we ended on
Something very
heavy.
Yeah. All right. So that's I think that's going to be the end. Do you want to tease what the movie we're going to be talking about is?
The movie we're going to be talking about is hang on.
He's already forgotten.
I know the movie. No, I know the movie. I just can't. It's got a bad name.
All right, mystery movie that Blue will remember in the intro.
Right. Yeah, with Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds is in it. There, that's the teaser. All right, this is going to be the end of segment 1 of the TMCJ podcast. Thank you all for listening, and you will hear us again momentarily for segment 2. Welcome back to the TMCJ podcast. We're on segment 2, our media segment, and Blue has confirmed the name of the movie that he watched that we're going to be talking about. So,
Alicia, I'm going to give some foreplay here, alright? Some leading up to it, alright?
Okay.
So, we were trying out a new cinema in our area. And I'm excited to talk about this because this is the nicest cinema I've ever fucking been to. And I've told you about it, but yeah. We went there. We got tickets. It was a little bit more expensive than normal cinema. Fair enough. We got there. Got up some stairs. We are taken to a table. And they say, here are the menus. Have a look. Whatever you want. And so I got like a margarita pizza and a espresso martini. With some vodka, some coffee. And little pieces of popcorn were in it. Wasn't a massive fan of the popcorn, but I get it's a gimmick, and so sure.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. So then we ordered, and then we went into the cinema part. The cinema part itself, it wasn't busy, which is good. There were like, instead of, as you can imagine a cinema, it's got pull down seats, you just sit on it, it's got a shitty plastic armrests. No, none of that. It had these lovely looking, very clean, like sofas. Very comfortable. They got cushions, they got little tables in front of you, got tables to the left and right of you, these little orange lamps. Very nice. And after 10 minutes of watching the ads, they came in with our food and our drinks, so we were able to enjoy them while watching the ads. Some of the ads, very, I feel like movie ads are actually quite enthralling. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, with a lot of big-name movies, they're the best part of the movie, boiled down to like 3 minutes.
Well, yeah, and it cuts out all the, shampoo adverts and stuff, so, ads don't really give it credit, I think. Anyway, so then we started watching the film Free Guy, which...
Terrible name.
Terrible, terrible name. And it's about the protagonist is a character called Free Guy. No, it's called Guy. Sorry. God, it's such a bad name. The character is called Guy.
Okay.
And he lives in a city where there's the normal fucking people like him, and then there are the heroes who all wear these goggles or glasses, and they are basically able to fly around, pull machine guns out of their pockets, hold up banks, and they do whatever the fuck they want. They're everywhere. And then it's revealed that Guy is in a computer game. And the city is a lot like Grand Theft Auto.
Okay.
Now, Guy works at the local bank in the city. And, every day...
Wait, I'm sorry. So, is he still in the game?
Yes, he is not sentient. So, he wakes up in the morning, he says hello to his goldfish, he gets a specific kind of coffee that everyone gets, Then he walks to the bank with his best mate security guard.
So he's an
perplexed.
NPC.
He's an NPC, yes.
Okay, got it.
And he gets to the bank, and he does, like... someone comes in, he stamps their thing, and he's like, don't have a good day, have a great day. That's his, like, phrase as an NPC. And then, like, 3 people walk into the bank with machine guns. Everyone gets on the floor. The security guard drops his gun and lies down next to Guy. They have a nice little chat, because they're just used to this.
Yeah.
They get their faces stepped on, and then they wake up again. You know, the world resets.
Yeah, they respawn.
Yeah. So, but one day, Guy is, like, at the coffee shop, and he's like, actually, I would like a cappuccino, please. And all the NPCs turn to him, and they're like, what? You don't want... You mean you want this, right? He's like, no, I would like a cappuccino, please. And then, like, you see outside, in the street, just a tank rolls up and aims at the coffee shop. And he looks around, he's like, I'll have the usual, please. Just kidding. Oh, yeah. And anyway, it's very funny.
He's becoming self-aware. But
yes, he's becoming self-aware. So, also on the outside, there is a few characters who none of whom I particularly like. There is a big business corporation which owns the game called Tsunami. Sounds a lot like Konami.
Yeah.
Or maybe even Blizzard if you think about it being like a natural disaster. I don't know.
Good point.
And
doesn't have to be the one it rhymes with.
The owner is, of course, this guy. He first time you see him, he's wearing like a PUBG coat. It's like very colourful and out there. Very cool looking, don't get me wrong, but also looks like a complete hipster asshole, which he's meant to, and all he cares about is money. So at least they got that right about the gaming world.
Yep.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, they got that right about hipster assholes.
And we're introduced to 2 other characters, one of whom works for him, and he's this guy who basically, hipster asshole, bought his game and his code. And then a girl who used to work with the kid on the game that they had, which I guess they sold to him. Because they do say that he bought it. But she is trying to come up with a lawsuit saying this person is using our code illegally. Which makes no sense to me. I don't know if I missed some small detail, but the plot itself doesn't make sense.
No, I mean... That makes perfect sense because, you know, millennials have no fucking understanding how the law works. If you sell someone something, they own it.
Yeah, I don't get it. Anyway,
that was just this is my dig, my old man's dig at young people.
Their code is basically a character can get sentience. I'm sure you can see where this is going.
Yeah, they're going to go and save Ryan Reynolds? Like, get
they basically made an algorithm where computer learning is a thing, and it can just keep learning and learning. And
they made
learn
true
emotion.
AI. Yeah.
Yes. And so she's actually walking through this game world trying to find the hidden code, which is not how it works. As a person who does a little bit of coding, the code things that they talk about are just so utterly banal and completely wrong.
This is the equivalent of when you watch a hacker in a movie and he's just slamming on a keyboard and then stuff happens.
There is a point in the movie, and my brother actually brought this up, but like, before I even watched the film, he was talking about it.
Yeah.
Late in the show, the guy the kid who's working for evil hipster gets fired. He's got his laptop in his like box of things that he's carrying out of the building. He just one hand, not even looking because the laptop lid's closed, one hand just types, and suddenly the game world, focusing on Guy's NPC character, is streamed to the whole world.
Are you telling me that they fired this kid and they didn't turn off his fucking Wi-Fi? Also, you don't bring your own laptop to work. You don't get to take it home with you.
Right.
They're fucking imaged. They're owned by the
Especially
company.
when you're... Yeah, God, it's bad. Anyway, so...
You're not even allowed
Guy's
to take a
getting
flash drive out when you're fired.
more realization, and one day one of the robbers walks into the bank, and he stands up and walks over to him. He's like, "Excuse me, could you just give me 1 sec?" And he's like reaching for the guy's glasses, and the guy tries to shoot him. I can't remember how, but he ends up like flipping the shotgun around, and he has his hand on the glasses. He fires the shotgun. The guy flies back, and he's just holding the glasses. He puts them on, and suddenly he can see like heist reward, $10,000, and across the street he can see armory store, and
so he can see the HUD that the players normally have.
He can see the HUD.
Yeah. Heads up display for those that don't know.
Yes, he can like equip parachute and things like that just from out of nowhere. And it freaks him out. He finds this girl who's trying to find the hidden code. I'm going to skip over a lot of the plot and just keep to the interesting stuff.
I mean, you were right. Like, I can see why you didn't like any of the outside characters. Like, Ryan Reynolds is like so far the best part of this plot synopsis.
Oh yes, Ryan Reynolds is fucking hilarious. They make... Alright, now I'm just going to dot about all over the movie because... time. It comes to later in the movie, and Blue Shirt Guy, as everyone calls him, which would have been almost a better name. I mean, it's still a bad name for the film. I don't get what the free part is. Anyway,
I'm assuming it's because his name is Guy, and they're trying to set him free.
Yeah, but they don't. He's still a computer NPC. The guy wants to wipe the servers basically and get rid of this Blue Shirt Guy, because Blue Shirt Guy wants to be a pacifist in basically GTA. So instead of killing everyone, which he does still technically kill people just by getting bad guys to shoot other bad guys, he is basically going around punching people and grabbing their weapon and running away to get XP. And so he's doing the World of Warcraft South Park episode where he's killing boars essentially.
Yeah, out in the wilderness.
But because it's literally his entire life, it goes up a lot faster than any of the player characters. And suddenly he's like at level 114 or whatever. He goes back to this chick and he's like, "Right, I'm ready to help you now." He helps her get this piece of data from someone's safe house, which she just is able to break into because the friendo on the inside just gives her access. Exactly. Then he appears. The owner of the safe house appears, and Blue Shirt Guy's there, and he's like, "Oh my god, you're Blue Shirt Guy! Oh my god, I'm streaming right now. Do like these poses and shit for me." And they switch to his real life cam, and he's like this super nerdy kid, and they literally do the mum joke. Like, he's talking to Blue Shirt Guy, and he's saying like, "Mom, get out of here, I'm streaming!"
Oh my god.
And then he does the stupid fucking Fortnite dance.
Oh.
And a bunch of other weird fucking and just like really awkward stuff that you see happen on like these streamers. Ninja cameos.
Everyone should be required to be punched in the face at least once.
I groaned the moment they used Ninja. Of all the fucking people. And there's one streamer I thought, fair enough. That's good. They used Jacksepticeye.
Better than Ninja, but yeah.
Yes, it's still not brilliant, and they used some other people as well. I didn't know them. And it was a bit cringe. Oh,
this is
the
like
Pika girl thing.
Who?
Pika Chan. No, I don't fucking know. I'm gonna get railed for not knowing her name, but I don't watch her content. Scott watches her.
Pokimane?
Pokimane, thank you.
Okay. I don't know. I'm guessing. But yeah.
Yeah, she was in it as well. It's kind of
so a bunch of like relatively uncontroversial
YouTubers.
A-listers. Yeah.
Yeah, from YouTube.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then they did like a fucking. They were trying to cram as many different franchises into one thing.
This is like on the same level of like whenever you watch a movie where there's like politicians or something like that, they use real world like talk show hosts or newscasters to make it seem like it's in the real world. It's just as cringe then, and not quite as cringe as this, but I don't know. I like. Oh,
they're all like, they're like, oh, all the women and even some of the men are like, oh, that blue shirt guy, he's so attractive, swoon, kind of stuff like that, and it's like, ooh,
fucking kill me.
Ryan Reynolds is like twice all of your ages. Don't get me wrong, he's a handsome man, but fuck me, it's weird. And you're talking about an NPC. How many times have you like seen women go, oh, that Doom guy, he's so hunky.
To be fair, Doom guy I could see it for. That's, you know,
that he's a bit of a man's man, I think.
Doom guy is the equivalent of like that gym bro thing that I was talking about earlier. Like
that was actually what I was thinking about. Yeah.
It's like, oh man, how much can you bench?
Anyway, so it gets to the end, and he's like, I've got to get rid of this blue shirt guy. I'm going to kill the servers. And rather than do, the old, turning off the servers trick, he's like, I'm going to go to the server room with an axe and just start fucking axing the server room.
That's not even gonna do anything. Most of the time, servers are on cloud backups now. This movie was written by somebody who has seen computers before and knows that coding exists, but has never actually been remotely close to doing it. This is so stupid.
One point during the beginning, and this really annoyed me. This is part was really the two of the employees at Tsunami were like, this blue shirt guy, he's using a skin that is not allowed in the game. Essentially, he's using an NPC skin because he is an NPC, which other players aren't able to get. So they're like, they go into the game, they're not like, we've got to kick this player or ban this player. Or even just delete his data or something. Or just look up that he's a fucking NPC, because there's only so many NPCs in the game. You would recognize an NPC.
Open up the fucking ini file and delete it from his inventory. Like, just fucking, this is...
And they're like, okay, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go into the game and confront him. So, I'm going to take Coffee Shop Cop skin, and the other guy's going to take Weird Perverted Bunny skin. Because why not? A giant pink bunny with, abs. It's kind of fucking weird.
I mean, to be fair, the internet is kind of fucking weird.
Yeah, but this is a dev.
Yeah.
So
people who work at software companies are kind of fucking weird.
They can instantly locate Blue Shirt Man, so they just appear next to him, right? And they're like, dude, take off the skin right now, or we're gonna ban you. No, they can't ban him. All they can do is repeatedly follow him and kill him in the game. That's it.
Right, so a dev, all the dev can do is spawn camp.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so they're chasing after him, they go into this construction site, and they're like, oh, he picked up some shoes so he can jump really high, and the devs can't catch him. And they're like, we'll have to use God mode. I'm like, okay, cool. They'll just TP X to X, bam. They're next to him, shoot him in the head, whatever. No, God mode in this world means that the entire scenery around the character morphs itself into a set of stairs that they can slowly climb up in a very tiresome and obviously time expansive method of getting to the person. It's like, no, God mode doesn't mean that. God mode means you either appear right next to them or you just fly straight to them.
This is Hello Fellow Kids, the movie.
Surely you've seen Minecraft.
I don't think... No. This is a movie that... it sounds like in premise, when they were writing it, the person who was writing it, maybe had a good idea and had... But then it went through, a million different, directors and producers and, team staff.
They're obviously we need to make this look cool.
Yeah.
But frankly, I think it would have been funnier and more accurate if they'd just done the classic pop animation sound, right? I can't even do it. Right? And just have him appear next to him. and it'd be like a funny thing, or he'd just pop into existence. I think that'd be better, personally. Anyway, so he dies by getting hit by like a fucking car or something, and they're like, right, job done, and so he just respawns.
Because he's an
Great.
NPC.
Yeah, he gets more smart. He ends up like making out with the girl the player character who's looking for the code. He's like, oh, I have love now. I can feel emotion. I'm a real boy. And it's just kind of...
Oh my god.
They find the code that was hidden in the game. It was like...
Was it in his heart all along?
Actually, I think they did it quite cleverly, but also kind of fucking stupidly. So the person who used the code in the game, like, he introduced the character part of their code into the game, but for some reason he also left the entire fucking island and map in the game.
Yeah, like...
But he hid them. And when he hid
room.
them, he didn't remove them from the reflections. Which I thought was... That is an interesting... Because, like, the way that mirrors work in games, they don't work like mirrors. They just show you what the camera is seeing in reverse.
Yeah.
From the point of the mirror. And so, yeah, like, you could see the island in reflections of surfaces.
Alright, that's pretty cleverly done.
It is. But then they just have to, like, break through this world border with bullshit. And then they summon in a super hulky, muscular guy with Ryan Reynolds' face on. Ryan Reynolds has his glasses and engages the Captain America shield. Literally the Captain America shield. And it very quickly switches to the person who plays Captain America in the real world. And he's like, what the fuck? And it switches back again. That's funny. That's funny shit.
They actually got, what's his name? Chris something? But
Not
the guy
Chris Hemsworth.
No,
that's Thor.
Yeah, I know, whatever. But the actor who plays Captain America.
Yeah. He's like sitting in the coffee shop watching on his phone. He's like, what the fuck? And then he pulls out like a Hulk fist and punches the guy through a wall.
I actually, that's one of the few like celebrity like cameos in this that I actually, that's good.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. He goes across the bridge out into the ocean past the world border, finds the other island. The police arrest the dude who just smashed up his server room because
it's his fucking server room.
Actually, I don't even know if they did arrest him. I don't... Like, so she turns up and he's like, there is one server left in this room and it's the one with blue guy on it and your data. If you don't... I'll make you a deal. I get to keep all the money and the rights to the next game. You can have your server back. Or something. It's very weird. And so he still makes money, even if it's not as much.
Hold on.
And they continue their project and make this utopian world where there's no guns and it sounds a lot more boring than the actual game where Guy lives. It is what it is.
Yeah, I absolutely hate those people. Like every person that's not Ryan Reynolds that you described in the plot seems like a dumbass. Like,
yeah, it's very much meant for children.
Yeah.
I think...
No, I think...
There's some... Go on.
Just like... I'm sorry. Even as a child, I would have understood how property rights work.
Yeah. Thing is, they were prepared to say, you know, big corporations like Konami. Very fucking obvious, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Konami's not furious about this. So they were prepared to shit on them, right?
Yeah.
If they really wanted to do something fucking hilarious and actually significant in this day and age, they should have talked about loot boxes. That would have been hilarious.
Yes.
Like, can you imagine, like, a box just appears in front of Ryan Reynolds, like, and it says, like, pay £20 to open this box. He's like, oh, that's fine. I've got a bunch of in-game credits. And it's like he can't buy the fucking thing.
Yes, because you need real world money. That would have been funny. Yes, that would have been good.
And then he, like, finally gets open and there's, like, a cosmetic pair of gardening gloves or something.
And
that would have been so funny. It would have been relevant to real life. It would have been like, oh,
We should rewrite this
Missed
movie.
opportunity. Anyway, so yeah, it's like this paradise where there's dinosaurs walking the streets. There's like a Florida-esque island.
So they
and
took,
everyone's happy.
It sounds like they took a fun game like Grand Theft Auto and made it into Farmville.
They took a fun game like Grand Theft Auto and took out the guns.
That's boring.
That's just... And you can't steal cars anymore or anything like that. It's a life simulator. And I'm sorry, but that game would not be... Don't get me wrong, I know there are games out there where
like
you can
Second
own
Life.
property.
The Second Life,
Yeah, and they're very popular. But based on how PC... Because, let's face it, all those games also devolve into let's do ERP and get married and stuff like that. And it's just... Ooh.
God, there's so much. This movie had a lot of potential because, like, this is not a new concept. Do you remember this may have been before your time, but did you ever watch the TV show Reboot?
No.
It was a 90s CGI TV show that was like about how, code and programs and stuff were alive inside the computer, and then like whenever somebody would play a game, it would put this like destructive cube down, and then the NPCs had to beat the player, otherwise a bunch of like programs would die.
Yeah.
And it would be damaging. It was a very cool concept, and it a lot better done than this, with significantly lower budget and technology.
Just so many of the reasons were so bullshit. Like when every time they're trying to kill Blue Shirt guy, and they're like, we can't delete his data because
Reasons.
he's got a lot of files. Yeah, but all those files are specifically for him. Like you literally, like the fact that you could look and see that he had so many files means that you can delete those files.
Yeah. Let me give you a little bit of Control A, delete. Boom, he's gone.
I mean, that would probably delete a lot more. I mean, okay, I guess. Yeah,
he was breaking the
But
servers
yes.
with an axe.
Yeah, like that's wiping out everything. Like it's not hard to just shut down the servers so people can't be online.
It is an interesting concept, maligned by the fact that the people who seem to have executed it had no idea how computers actually work.
Also, it seems like, because as he was destroying the server room, like essentially chunks of the world were disappearing.
Yeah.
So it's like every single server had all the base info for its own world. Like its own little portion of world where gravity exists and stuff like that. And they just have like copied that across all the servers.
It's not how it
Like
works.
there's not one server where it's like, okay, this is going to be, the basic layout of the world with gravity.
Did they not have them in fucking RAID arrays? Like, oh my god, this company deserved to fucking like blow up. Like they didn't have cloud backups. They didn't have the servers on RAID arrays. They had all of the data somehow copied. Like their netcode must have been terrible.
Oh, and at the beginning, there's like an interview between the two young impressionable children that made the game, and they were like, "Oh, the girl, she's that sprightly coffee morning girl who, is all the ideas of the game. But me, I'm just the dude, I just do the code. It's all just zeros and ones to me." You don't write games in zeros and ones.
You fucking code in binary. That's like, hey, I made Minecraft, but I did it in machine code. It's like, what the...
Right? It's like, I did it with ticker tape in 2020. Like we did a dot matrix machine or something. I don't know. Fuck me. It's so so inaccurate.
I bought some stock and I did it by sending in a postcard.
And it doesn't make any difference. If you'd said I made it in JavaScript rather than I did it in binary, it would still make as much sense to the audience.
Yeah. Honestly,
and it wouldn't be so wrong.
He maybe he was just trying to be like clever. It was like a metaphor, just like, oh, ones and zeros. But he could have just said like, oh, it's all code to me or something like that. Or just, I don't know. This seems like a movie that was made by people that don't understand computers for people that don't understand computers.
Yeah, there was a lot of good references. Like I think there was actually a scorpion tank in there. I could be wrong. I saw it and I thought of Halo.
Mm.
So
did it have 4 independent treads?
It did. It had like 4 sets of
treads.
Okay, yeah, I guess they are treads.
Yeah, that's a scorpion tank then.
Yeah.
Kind of like a bronzish brown color.
It was green, like a dark green.
Okay, it still might be it.
Yeah, I don't know. But it appeared several times. I was like, is that a Halo reference? I'm not sure. But yeah, it seemed very strongly based on GTA.
Yeah. That's just... Oh my... They're, like... I'm angry. Like, just hearing that description, like, so many pieces of that legitimately made me angry.
But there were a lot of good points in the movie. Like I said,
I think that almost makes it worse, because it sounds like there were so many good ideas and so many good bits.
There were so many funny bits.
Yeah.
None of it was intelligent.
I did like the Captain America gag that you were talking about there, though. That I thought that was fun.
The hacker, not the hacker, the dude who's the safe house they break into, he's also, like, I guess some kind of hacker, because he can spawn in random NPCs into his garage.
Yeah.
And what I found fucking hilarious, and fair enough, was that it wasn't just, like, security guards he was spawning in. He was spawning in, like, a samurai, a boxer. Like, clearly somebody's just gone down through the list and been like, that's a cool character to have defending my base.
Bring that one
And
in.
so, like, this weird eclectic mix of fighters that you would never see together. I thought that was a nice touch.
Choose your adventure.
Yeah, and it was the same garages as you have in GTA. Guy got his own garage because he had levels, and so he had, like, a horse-drawn carriage and, like, a NASA space module for mounts.
Oh my god. When the NPC gets player levels.
Yeah. Ironically, better looking mounts than GTA has, I would say. But yeah, lots of sports cars and all that. I'm sure there was a lot of adverts of product placement in it.
Oh yeah. This seems like the movie tailor-made for it.
But yeah. Oh, and the two kids, like, love each other at the end, and they walk to each other across the street.
They canoodle.
And, well, they cut away from it. And then they're in, like, the PC world again, and Guy is walking through the street, and he's like, oh, I miss my old buddy, because he got deleted in the old server. And he reappears in this new world, and they see each other across the street, and I'm like, oh my god, if they run into each other's arms and start kissing, that would be fucking hilarious. It's like this beefy, friendly kind of black security guard guy and Ryan Reynolds. If they didn't do it, they just hugged. But that would have been so funny. That would have been brilliant.
Oh my god.
God. Yeah. Anyway, so that's Free Guy. I would recommend it for kids and people who want to see a comedy.
Yeah. And preferably people who
loot boxes.
Preferably people that don't understand how computers work.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, take everything with a pinch of salt. Yeah, the loot box thing, they could have really done something with that. I think that would have been...
Yeah, and the streamer cameos is really cringe, but...
Yeah. Captain America, good. Other than that... And Ryan Reynolds, obviously, is the main... I guess it's not a cameo, because he's just the main actor, but...
But he's really good. Most movies I've seen him in, like, even if they're serious movies, are just, like, he brings a bit of levity, but he also can play a very serious character.
Yeah.
And he has a great sense of just, like, dry sarcasm that I love.
They have... All the streamers they got on were very, like... I don't want to say kid-friendly, but I don't think Ninja should be considered kid-friendly. He's a bit of a... Anyway.
He's a bit of a douche. Ninja. No, neither do I.
And, like, Jacksepticeye, okay, that's alright. He's... Fair enough, he's a funny guy. I would have wanted to see, like, I don't know... Life of Boris on there. That would have been fucking funny. Him rocking into town. Welcome, comrades. Let's get these gopniks, kind of. That would have been fucking funny.
Honestly, they could have... Oh my god, that would be good, yeah.
Yeah. Just him, like, trying to make shashlik or something in the game. God, that would have been funny. I think they missed a trick on that. But again, he's probably not kids wouldn't have known about him, so they wouldn't... He is kid-friendly.
But kids wouldn't be aware of him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe he's not quite kid-friendly. I think he does swear a little bit, but...
Yeah, just a bit.
But then so does Jacksepticeye, and so does Ninja, so...
Yeah.
There we go.
Alright, yeah. So let's end it there, because we have a quiz to do today.
We do.
All right. This is going to be the end of segment 2 of the TMCJ podcast. Thank you all for listening, and you will hear us again momentarily for segment 3. Welcome back to the TMCJ podcast. We are on a quiz segment for the first time in quite a while. Segment 3, our wildcard segment. It's been, I think, like 2 months since we did one of these.
Yeah, since the beginning of the Red Rising trilogy.
Oh, so it's been longer than that, because that spanned 6 podcasts.
Yeah, and there have been breaks in between.
Yeah, so, okay, well, maybe it is about 2 months then.
About 2 months, yeah.
But we're both on camera. Hi. We're both wearing aviators, which been wearing them for like half the podcast anyway.
Yep.
And Blue's got a quiz for me.
I do. So the other day I was like, I'm bored. I'm going to come up with a really wacky fucking quiz. Go on.
Before you do your full intro, just got to introduce the chair. Check it. It's a big, cushy thing. Sorry.
Nice.
A little bit of a brag. And for the audio listeners, that just sounded like me making weird noises. Go on.
Yes. You normally do anyway. So, I was thinking actually this week, I might give you one lifeline, alright?
Okay.
And I'm sorry for the people listening, you'll just have to take my word on it, but if you want, if there's a question that you're pretty sure you have no idea what the answer is, if you can do, and you only get this chance once, if you can do, I'm going to say 40 press-ups within 1 minute, I'll let you pass it.
Oh, okay. That's easy.
There you go. 40 press-ups in 1 minute. Okay.
They're easier doing them faster, so yeah.
Yes, because occasionally I do throw questions in there which you might just fucking give up. I don't want that to happen. Where's my phone? There it is. Okay, right. Timer.
All
so
right.
well prepared.
Go for it.
Okay, question number 1. Do. How long does it take me to find my clock? No. Right, question number 1. Okay, starting off with a pretty generic one, because I just need to warm up to it. Who has the most Twitter followers as of March 2021? Any one of the top 4 results will get you a pass.
Oh, it's gonna be some dumbass fucking pop star or something. I don't know.
Only one of the top 4.
You think I know celebrities' names?
You definitely know 2 of them. No, you know all of them. You know all of them.
Do I actually? Okay, that's going to be even more embarrassing if I get this wrong. I haven't been on Twitter in 4 years. Fuck. Just
think about the kind of people that use Twitter. Like, you don't need to go on Twitter to know the kind of people that use it.
Good point.
You have 25 seconds.
Oh, fuck. Now I'm blanking. I don't know. PewDiePie.
PewDiePie? Is that your final answer?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Pausing the clock, 15 seconds left. In order from the, let's say, least to most.
Mm-hmm.
So with 102.22 million followers is Rihanna.
Oh, I probably could have got that one, yeah.
Next, with 109.52 million, is Katy Perry.
Okay.
Next, with 114.04 million, is Justin Bieber.
I was gonna say him first. Fuck.
And the biggest one, which honestly I'm surprised you didn't get, 129.78 million followers, Barack Obama.
Oh, I wouldn't have guessed Obama. I wouldn't have guessed any politician, honestly.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Barack.
Fun fact, I'm pretty sure Rihanna has the exact same birthday as Juan and I.
Yeah, interesting. Right, that's a point for me.
Or at least she's in the same month. It was a random piece of trivia. I think we were looking up one time, like, who has the same birthday as us.
Take a sippy sip.
Oh, right.
Boom. Alright, question number 2. How long was the world's longest hot dog according to the Guinness Book of Records? Go. I will give you to the nearest 50 feet.
Well, it's already longer than I thought. my first guess was going to be 1 meter. Okay, I'm going to say... So it's in feet?
Yes.
Okay. me being a bad American, I was going to guess it in metric. I'm going to say 1,200 feet.
So 1,200 feet is what you think, right?
Yeah.
Okay, put some on the clock. The longest, according to the Guinness Book of Records, is 668 feet.
Damn it, I went too high. I almost doubled it.
The meat alone weighed 264 pounds.
Oh, now I'm hungry.
It's a big hot dog. Right, question 3. These are tough ones, fair enough. Like,
The Twitter one, I should have got. I was going to say
maybe.
I was gonna say Justin Bieber, but I figured it would be some like new Zoomer fucker or something.
I don't know why anyone follows Justin. I would have said like Stephen Fry or something, right? Because everyone loves Stephen Fry. He's across so many platforms.
The reason I guessed PewDiePie and I shouldn't have done it was because I think he's still the biggest on YouTube. That's not like a corporation.
Yeah, but he's a gamer, so of course we would think of it, whereas most people wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, I was going through stuff in my mind too, and I was thinking of like gamers, streamers. I thought of politicians at first, and I probably should have thought of Obama, but
Question 3.
Yeah.
A history question.
All right.
When was the first bicycle invented to the nearest 30 years?
Huh.
And if you guess where it was invented, I'll give you a half point.
I'm thinking it's going to be 17 or 1800s, I think. I'm going to say 1810, and I'm going to say it was invented in Germany.
Okay, I'm stopping the clock. 25 seconds. Alright. When was the first bicycle invented to the nearest 30 years? 1817.
Yes!
Holy crap.
I was so
By
close!
A German inventor
Yes!
called Karl von Dry. The machine was originally called the Swift Walker and had no pedals. Basically, it'd be like a bike that you'd sit on with the handlebars and you just walk along the ground.
you kick off, and then you just roll.
Yeah,
I can't believe I got it that close.
You fucking nailed that. It got the country and everything. My goodness, right. You get a point and a half. I'm going to take a big ol' swig.
Oh my god. Yes. Like, I was like, okay, it's a history question. I've got to get this one.
Yeah, holy fuck.
This is my area of expertise.
And I thought that was going to be a tough one as well, but Jesus. Well, the moment you said between 17 and 1800, I was like, my god, the boy's getting it. He can see the light. Alright.
I can see the threads of history in front of me.
Question 4.
Yeah.
This is another kind of history question. How many people have walked on the moon? Go.
Oh. I mean,
How much do you know?
It's clear. It's in it's less than 100. I'm just...
And no, if you say 0 because it was California, I will not accept that answer.
To be fair, they think the moon landing was faked in Arizona.
Oh, it was Arizona. Sorry.
Yeah, in the Arizona desert. One of my favorite memes is like the moon landing. Here, I'll say it after the question. I think
30 seconds.
The answer is going to be somewhere in the 20s or 30s. I'm thinking. So I'm going to say 27.
Okay. What I should have said was 5 on either side.
Okay, that's fine. But I'm still going to say 27.
27. How many people have walked on the moon? 12.
Ah, fuck! I was going way too high. Maybe I'm thinking
God. People have been to the moon.
Yeah.
As opposed to walked on the moon. Yeah.
Maybe, and
it's like 24, I think, or more. I can't remember.
Yeah, and there are people who stayed in orbit too and didn't actually go down in the lander.
Exactly.
Right, 12. Wow, it's way high.
Yeah, all of the crewed lunar landings took place between July 1969 and December 1972. So,
yeah,
nothing since 72.
Yeah, people.
Part of the Apollo
we're
program.
going back to the moon though. Or not us in particular. China's planning to go back.
Of course, it is.
The U.S. is, which I mean. Honestly, I think
establish that moon base.
Yeah, I think it'll be good though because maybe it'll get like the stick out of NASA's ass and they'll start doing stuff again. Because
maybe.
Ever since like they got defunded, back in like the 70s or 80s,
Stagnate.
what they've done is they've wanted to protect their funding, so they've diversified their projects. So if any one project gets canceled, they don't lose a ton of funding. But they had so much invested in the moon project that when that one went down, they lost a fuckload of funding. Which, yeah, whatever. But the story I was thinking of is somebody did one of those like big brain memes, like where you see like the brain getting bigger and more glowy.
Bigger,
Yeah, and like the first one was like, you know, the moon landings were faked, and then the second one is like the moon landings happened on the moon, and then the third one is the moon landings were faked on the moon. And I love that. I love it.
God, yeah. Oh man, amazing. For question 5, a sharp turn away from history. I hope you're ready.
I'm ready.
Please, and I'm going to give you 15 seconds on this one.
Okay.
Alright, I would like for you to please spell for me
Oh boy.
Carlo from last name from the life and suffering of Sir Bronte. Go.
Fockegrabn. En.
Oh, I'll accept EN. You just got it. You fucking nailed it.
Yes. That one's easy because it's a German name and they're always very literal.
We tried spelling it the other day and we were struggling. And I was thinking you might forget the E between the K and the G. But yes, of course,
yeah.
Carlo Fockgraben, the great hero of the life and suffering of Sir Bronte.
The hero. The man we all need, but not all of us deserve. Carlo Fockgraben. Sorry.
Hang on, sorry, I've been trying to keep track of the scores and I forgot to do it for the last one. Did you get the moon one? No, you didn't.
I did not. No, I failed the moon one.
And you did get that, so... Okay. Whew. Okay, question number 6.
I just got the weirdest Discord message from Emily.
Oh dear.
My plans later today is to go paddleboarding, and like I sent like a GIF of people surfing, but it like has the sun shining on the water. Sorry, everyone listening, this is a little bit of a tangent. And she responded in all capitals, "Yas, may it rain blood on this pond."
What the fuck? Such a genteel soul is that one.
Ah, yes. All right, go on.
Okay, question number 6. What are the 7 colours of the spectrum?
I know what you meant.
The light spectrum, not the gay spectrum.
That's... I'm sorry. Okay, so it's going to be... we started, right?
Yeah.
Red, blue, green, yellow, purple or violet, and... yellow?
You said yellow once, and that was still only 6 things.
Brown?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Okay, so you quite correct. You missed out orange,
Oh, fuck.
and so it's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, which you got, and indigo.
Indigo. Indigo and violet are the same damn thing.
I know, right?
That's me.
In terms of primary and secondary colours, you wouldn't have indigo and violet, you'd just have purple.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fun little biological fact. Since we were talking about men and women differences earlier. Men, on average, have better night vision, and women, on average, can see more colors.
Ah.
And it's because of the ratio of rods and cones in the eye. And they are, on average, distinctly different by gender. Just fun little bit of trivia. All right, go on.
Pardon me. Okay, question number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 7. Finish this famous line from a film. Nobody tosses a what?
I want to say salad, but I know that's not right.
Anyone at home currently very frustrated at Kaiser? I feel your pain.
I'm not a very cultured individual.
Nobody tosses a what?
Can you give me, like, the genre of the film, maybe?
Fantasy.
I don't know, a melon.
Nobody tosses a melon. Is that your final answer?
Yeah, that's my final answer. I don't know.
Okay, stopping. From the renowned film Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring.
Wait, what? Really?
Nobody tosses a dwarf.
Oh!
Famous quote.
I remember that scene, too.
I believe this is when they're escaping the Balrog.
I've read the books, I've watched the movies a couple times, and somehow, oh my god, yep, nobody tosses a dwarf!
And later he's like, "You'll have to toss me. Don't tell the elf."
Yeah, I'm actually kind of ashamed of myself for not getting that one.
We were even talking about Gimli so much the last couple days.
We were.
Jeez.
Fuck.
Right, that's another point to me. And I'm thirsty, Kaiser. Come on.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it right, but hey, I got the bicycle question.
Question is very true. Question number 8. In your favorite musical of all time, what is the author's intended message behind Rent, the musical?
I don't know. People are fucking lazy and they need to pay their rent.
Just right, you do have the potentially the get out of jail card.
The get out of jail card. Okay.
Try.
I probably should have used that on the last one, honestly. I actually think I might be able to guess this one. So,
okay.
I think that his intended message is that it's got to be probably something about friendship and how, like, loyalty through adversity will conquer all, or something like that.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, that's my final answer. What is it?
Embrace life and pursue it to the fullest.
Oh, wow. It was even less deep than I thought it was.
The show often uses the phrase, "no day but today," to drive this message home. I don't know if that's bullshit.
No, I got a completely different fucking message from that movie. I'm sorry.
These are, to be fair, I asked you some difficult. A lot of these questions were interesting things.
They are. I'm interested in the answers. I just don't know a lot of them.
Well, maybe not that last answer, but
no, it is nice to know that the author was even more vapid than I thought he was.
Okay, question number 9. This is another like random thought that came into my head when this question came up.
Okay.
What is a bushel?
It's a measurement of the... Are you looking for the exact number?
I'm not looking for the exact number. No. But I am looking for what type of measurement, if you're going to say it is a measurement.
Yeah, it's a measurement of, like, how you... like, of produce, or of things that you'd pick up, like, out in a field, like... So, like, a bushel of acorns, or, like, a bushel of, some kind of plant matter or root, or a bushel of mushrooms, something like that.
Okay. For perhaps a bonus half point, how much would you say a bushel is, weight-wise?
I'm gonna say, like 3 or 4 pounds, maybe 5 pounds.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the clock. A bushel is a measurement of capacity equal to 36.4 litres in Britain.
A volume thing.
Yeah. Or 35.2 litres in America. So it's basically a large basket.
Yeah.
That you pick apples and stuff like that. So I'm going to give you a point for that.
Nice. I knew what it was because I've heard the phrase quite a bit, like, growing up, and you hear it in, like folk tales and stuff like that, a bushel of this. Exactly,
yeah, and when I looked up, there was like a whole different, there's like a peck as a measurement, and a whole bunch of other words which I had never heard of, but I heard of bushel. There you go. Okay, now for the Duncan.
The next hard one, I'm doing the push-up thing. Because I'd actually forgotten about that until you reminded me. Go on.
Now for the Duncan question.
Yeah.
I say that because it's Warhammer based. In the Warhammer 40k universe, how many sons of the Emperor of Man or patriarchs were there?
Fuck.
I can't believe you can't get this, man.
I know it. It's because they divided up. I want to say it was in the low 20s. It was like, here, let me just go through some of them in my head. Can I get plus or minus 1?
Sure.
I'm gonna say 22.
Okay.
Okay.
So final answer?
Actually, no, I'm gonna say 23.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Okay, 23. How many Primarchs were there? There were 20 genetically engineered Primarchs.
I knew it was in the low 20s, but I didn't know how low in the 20s. The thing that was throwing me off is there's 2 legions that aren't mentioned anywhere. They've just basically been erased from existence. They just sort of get, like, sort of referenced.
Right.
Fuck, I really thought I had that one.
And as a bonus point, this is the bonus point question.
Okay.
So you get a full extra point if you get this right, well, which will set you to 1 point. How many turned traitor during the Horus Heresy?
I want to say 8.
I'm not giving you a plus 1, minus 1 on this one. Are you sure 8?
I'm still going to say 8, but I think it might actually be 7.
Alright, I'm going to stop the clock. There were 9 traitors, including Horus himself.
Fuck! So close!
So close, and yet so far on both of them.
Hold on, can I recover my points by doing the push-ups? No,
No.
How many questions are left?
5.
Oh, okay, I got space then. I thought we were coming up on the end.
Okay.
God, I'm actually ashamed of myself for not getting this. To be fair, I haven't
You
finished
should be.
reading. I haven't finished reading the Horus Heresy series, so I don't know exactly how many have turned traitor yet.
But surely it told you at the beginning how many brothers there were.
Yes, I should have known that one. And I've read a bunch of lore sites and stuff like that, which is what made me start reading the book series. One of the reasons.
If anyone got that at home, very well done. It's quite a niche thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. Question 11. Which actor played Long John Silver in The Muppets Treasure Island?
I haven't got a fucking clue. I'm doing the push-ups.
Or, and I got a for help part.
Okay.
They also played the clown from It.
Never saw it.
Okay.
Never saw either of them, actually, so I'm doing the push-ups. Sorry for Phil while I'm, getting out of the chair.
So the answer, which you can't get anymore, was Tim Curry. He was also in Rocky Horror, Home Alone, The Little Mermaid.
So I should have actually known this one because of... do you know who Stephen Lynch is?
No.
He's a comedy singer, and he has a joke song. It's what is it? Tim Curry's dead and gone, but the Muppets will live on, and Kermit's still hot, 'cause it's still not easy being green.
Okay.
Anyway.
So have you not seen The Muppets Treasure Island?
No, I haven't. Sorry, let me...
Oh, it's a fucking classic when I was a kid.
Getting stuff out of the way so I can actually see this.
Alright, he's making room. Everyone on YouTube, enjoy this. See him, his ankles. Oh my. Taking the watch off. Alright, he's in prime position. Are you ready?
Yep, within a minute, right?
Yes. You have to do 40. You can take breaks, but you cannot... Wait, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. Go on.
Okay. You can take breaks, but you cannot put your knees down. You got to hold the upward position for breaks. Okay?
Okay, I'm not taking any breaks.
Okay, 40 press-ups, 1 minute. 3... In fact, wait.
I can hear you. Just say 3, 2, 1, go.
3, 2, 1, commence.
1.
That's 1.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Going strong.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22,
Halfway.
24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40.
Bam. With 26 seconds left. I will say they were kind of... They weren't very deep press-ups, but I'll give it to you.
You just said a time limit. That's why I was asking what kind. Oh, my arms are shaking.
Nice. Alright, well done. I'll give you that point.
Sorry for the deep breathing into the microphone now.
Okay, question number 12.
Yeah.
This is something that you should know based on your current media watching at the moment.
Yeah.
How many of the incarnations of the Doctor from Doctor Who have there been so far?
13?
I
No.
will say I am not including the man who does not call himself the Doctor.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to say 13.
Are you sure?
No. It might be 14.
This has to be an exact answer. I'm not giving any leeway on this one.
Alright, fine. In that case, I am going to say 14.
You're going to say 14. Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
Stop the clock. How many incarnations of the Doctor from Doctor Who have there been so far? 13.
You son of a bitch.
I don't believe... Yeah, so the man who doesn't call himself the Doctor is not on the list because he is not technically the Doctor.
I could have sworn Jodie Whittaker was the 13th. That's why I was saying that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I'm wrong and it turns out I'm going to get shouted at in the chat, then I'm sorry. But when I looked up and I tried, I checked for 5-10 minutes of checking this, and everyone was saying 13.
No,
so,
I'm pretty sure you're right. And I was pretty sure I was right until I fucking second-guessed myself.
Yeah, I fucking love that. Right,
By the way,
okay.
did you take a thing for the push-ups?
Oh, true. Thank you.
I need a break anyway. Dude, my hands are legitimately, shaking now. I am so fucking out of shape.
Well, that's what we're all about. We're all about making the best of you, Kaiser.
Thank you.
Okay. Question number 13.
Yep.
And if anyone gets this at home, I'll be very surprised, and congratulations. I'm going to be surprised if Kaiser gets it. Question 13. How many YouTube videos are there on the Man Called Justice from Thursday? To the nearest 30.
445.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes. I'm off by a small number, but I'm sticking with my answer this time.
The answer is 457.
Fuck. I'm surprised I got it that close, honestly.
You got it right. It was to the nearest 30.
Oh, nearest 30. Oh shit. I thought it was the nearest 10.
No. You fucking nailed that shit. Holy crap.
Yeah, I know my
I
own
tried to
YouTube.
throw you off and everything.
I know my YouTube channel.
Jeez. Two questions left.
Nice.
You doing good?
The questions that I'm getting right are these weird, obscure ones.
Yeah.
Also, I think I'm holding... Yeah.
What?
I put my headset on backwards after the
Good
push-ups.
job.
God,
God, I can't stand wireless. Yeah. Right. Question number 14.
Yeah.
An unconventional question, some might say. Name 4 historical weapons that I have not heard of, and when/where they are from.
Oh, okay.
I've been watching Shadowversity recently, so good luck.
Crap. There's I can think of a lot of them, but I'm trying to think of one that you actually probably haven't heard of yet.
40 seconds. If they're super obscure and I do know them, I'll still give you the point, because it's only fair.
I mean, let's see.
20 seconds to get full answers. Come on.
I keep like picking things up in my head and throwing them out because I just don't. All right.
10 seconds.
All right. Fuck. There's just a bunch from the U.S. They once made a pistol that could fire 5 shots, and they were all like in one little box.
That just sounds like a revolver.
No,
Time's
no.
up.
They fired them all at once.
Right, like a shotgun with multiple barrels.
Yeah, basically. But it's a pistol. It was only like that big. It was like Derringer, essentially.
Oh, okay.
With like a bunch of different things.
I see. Well, time is up, but do you have any answers?
No, I kept thinking of different things. Like, I was like, oh, I could do like a wakizashi. I could do... And it was like, no, he's probably heard of that one. Wait, would have?
Yeah, because I have heard of it, but I don't know what it is. Like, I assume it's samurai sword, right?
Yeah, so there's the full katana, and then a wakizashi is essentially a Japanese short sword. And then...
Yeah, I told you that. You fucked yourself.
Well, it's one of those history questions, because you're essentially asking me to guess what I know that you don't, and
yeah,
that was a tricky prospect.
You just fucking panicked.
I did. I froze.
And I thought that you would like, because obviously you love weapons, you love history, so I thought you'd have that down.
I should have gone with guns, honestly, because I know about like a lot of obscure guns, and I could probably more accurately name where they came from.
To be fair, I know a lot of medieval weapons from Shadowversity, but he doesn't really talk about any guns, apart from like the gun blade, that one episode.
Yeah, how about the Garand?
The M1 Garand.
Oh, okay, yeah, you know that one.
I've played computer games, guys.
Yeah.
That shit was epic on COD 5. Right, the final question. Oh, fuck's sake. Wait, it recognized my face with sunglasses on and my hair back? What the fuck? Sorry. The final question. Some might say the most important question of all.
It's the final countdown. Sorry.
Question number 15.
Ready.
Where in the world would you find a Saiga antelope?
Took so much effort not to finish that with "In the World is Carmen Sandiego," but or was that before your time? Making before a lot of very old references today.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a TV show and computer game from the 90s. I'm gonna say in the steppes of like Russia, like Mongolia kind of area.
So
Siberia, essentially.
Siberia is the answer.
But yeah, but the steppes. It's a pretty wide geographic region. It goes over Russia and Mongolia.
Okay. Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
The Saiga antelope is found in Central Asia.
Got him.
So you get a point. The Saiga antelopes can run at about 50 miles per hour, or 80 kilometers per hour. And interestingly, they always give birth to twins.
That is very interesting.
It is. I actually sent you a picture of a Saiga antelope this morning in a GIF.
That's what that was.
Yep.
I thought that was a llama.
I want to send you another picture because these things are adorable. And I think you particularly would love them because they kind of look like bouncy capybaras.
They do. I mean, honestly, the face looks really... It looks like it's got a nose that looks like it could be in like a Star Wars film, like as an alien.
Yeah. And like that wasn't even that was the only one they have on Discord. But like,
oh my god, they're
look
adorable.
At these boys. Look at
so
the full-grown one. Look at his fucking nose. He's a beautiful boy. One sec. It's sending.
Oh my god. I'm sorry. This has just devolved into like let's look. Oh my god, they're fucking adorable.
They're amazing.
How did I not know these animals existed until now?
So they were going extinct, but I mean, they give birth to twins every time they give birth, so they've actually been making a comeback.
Huh.
They're amazing. I highly recommend anyone at home look up the Saiga antelope. That's Saiga. Or Sega, I don't know.
Sega. No,
that's the noise they make.
They're like Pokemon. No, they're actually like that's very cute. All right, little piece of trivia to end it off. And I love how the questions that I got right this time around were like these weird, obscure ones. Like, where's this animal I've never heard of from? You know, how many YouTube videos do I have? Where is the bicycle invented and what year?
Yeah, I went for a very random, eclectic mix this time.
I liked it. That kept me on my toes.
So, points-wise, I got...
Dun, 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 dun.
I got 9 points.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I did better than
You
I thought.
got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 points.
Oh, I did a lot better than I thought I did.
That's pretty good. There were a lot of tough questions in that one. Again, you got the ones I thought you'd get right completely wrong with the Warhammer one. Like, what the fuck, man?
I'm embarrassed by that one. Like, that one, you know, full on, I shouldn't have got that right.
And you're very close with Doctor Who. You, of course, claimed one with the Tim Curry press-ups.
Yep.
Which I think that might be a thing we do each week. I might set a different physical or mental challenge for you as a lifeline each week. That might be a fun thing to add in.
Yeah, I like that idea, and I can do maybe something similar for you. Like, hey, you got to...
Yeah. Well, you're next for next month, I guess, to make the quiz.
Yeah, I know. Then I've got to think of a quiz. We're coming up on October. Maybe it can be a Halloween one.
I thought you were going to say Oktoberfest.
It'll actually be an anniversary. It'll be our second Halloween quiz. 'Cause I think the Halloween quiz is when we started.
Was that the very first one?
I think the very first quiz segment was about Halloween.
Yeah. Well, there we go. I remember you in the Pope hat because of the thumbnail.
That's right. All right. Yeah, let's close it out there. Thank you all for listening to the TMCJ podcast. This has been episode 58. Thank you all for listening, and we will see you again next week.
Sega.